How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I wanted to give you an update on a penny stock that I think will do really well under the current presidential administration. So Kamala Harris says Biden administration won't half-step marijuana reform, and this is something that I've seen societally. This is something that I've seen in government in general. People are becoming more and more pro marijuana, either for tax revenue or just because they want to use it. So this is something that a lot of us investors think that is going to change over the coming months, over the coming years. And it's something that I believe in. I'm invested in some marijuana stocks. And the company that I want to bring to your attention today is, I think, right at the forefront of this marijuana boom that's coming. So I've talked about it once before. This company is working with Keef Brands here. You can see their products here. They are the number one cannabis beverage company by revenue in the US, and they took an equity position in BevCanna. That's the company we're talking about today, BevCanna. They also made them the exclusive licensee, manufacturer, and distribution partner for Keef Brands up in Canada. So Keef Brands is US. They're partnering with this company, BevCanna, in Canada. Now, I've talked about them before. They're a really interesting company. They have a 130-acre outdoor cultivating facility. They've recently expanded their products. They've recently bought more brands. They've recently signed more contracts, and that's what I want to bring to your attention today. They're adding to their management team, bringing in some really high-quality executives. Now, right off the bat, you have to know this is a 40,000 square foot existing facility that they have. They bottle for themselves. They bottle for other companies too. They white label. Now, they also have the capacity to go up to 72 million bottles annually. So they have a very high capacity in this company. They also have their own aquifer. So they have their own water right on site there. And the thing is, even if you throw a lot of money at this, let's say you're Pepsi and you want to start one of these up in Canada and you want to start your own brand up there. The thing is, you still have to get it approved. This company recently, about 2 months ago, announced that they received a standard processing license from Health Canada. They can now begin production at full service, high capacity beveraging at their facility. Now, this is something that you have to pay attention to because this means you can't just throw money at this industry. It takes years to get approved for this, and this company just did this. Now, they are growing like crazy right now, which is why I want to bring it to your attention. The other reason I want to bring it to your attention is because it's down significantly. And this is not because of the underlying company. We've seen this with cannabis stocks. We've seen this with penny stocks in general. Over the last couple months, they've fallen from their highs. Almost every single penny stock I've looked at has almost had this exact same pattern, where around February 15 to February 23rd or so, they went down from their peaks, and then they bumped up a little bit, and then they've continued to fall down. This company is down about 50%, which is why I want to bring it to your attention, because there's a lot of good news coming out on this company, and there's also downward pressure on the stock price. So this is the same underlying company it was before, only with more good news, better executives, more business than ever, but you're getting it at about half the price because of the whole general penny stock market falling down recently, which is why I want to bring it to your attention. So I want to thank BevCanna for this video here today. You might have seen in the lower left-hand corner at the beginning of the video, this is a sponsored video. So thank you, BevCanna, for working with me on this. I really want to bring this to your attention as a viewer because, again, really interesting company with a lot of upside in my opinion. Now, before we get into it, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. Also, there is a link down there to Webull. In case you want some free stocks, you can actually sell and buy Dogecoin on their platform now too, but you can get some free stocks there, up to 2 free stocks worth up to $1,900. Also, there's a link down there to my Patreon in case you want to see what I buy and sell on a daily basis, and there's a link down there to BlockFi in case you want an interest rate and a bonus for cryptocurrency. So definitely check that out down below. So, BevCanna recently signed a white label agreement to manufacture and distribute cannabis-infused beverages for enthusiasmus. Now, the really interesting thing about this is what they say here at the bottom. We were seeking a partner with seasoned expertise in producing high-quality beverages and the capacity to manufacture those beverages at scale. With a high barrier of entry inherent in the Canadian licensed cannabis industry, BevCanna is unparalleled in its ability to provide full service solution that they were looking for. So they're excited to have the deal signed. Now, that kind of gets back at this Health Canada license, right? It's very difficult to get into this industry at this point. They also signed another white label agreement. These were very close together here. So this one was March 31st. This was March 30. They signed this agreement with State B Cannabis Beverage Co. They say their success in developing appealing beverages and consumer products gives us the ability to scale our operations and deliver a new kind of beverage experience to customers. So two pretty exciting white label agreements. So they're building their own brands. You can see them here. And then they're also white labeling for other companies, which is a significant step forward because white labeling revenue is very steady. Now, in addition to that, we had huge news that they are going to increase their footprint and they're going to expand Trace brands and alkaline products into Asia Pacific markets. Now, this is huge because they have a population of 1.6 billion, which is about 21% of the world's total population here. So they're expanding into the Asian markets. It's going to open up a huge moat for BevCanna. It should be really important as those countries are also pretty health conscious. So these types of products I would think would do quite well there. It's going to be really interesting to see once they move over their revenue increase over the coming years because, like I said, this is a huge footprint for them. So because of all these new agreements, they recently announced that they're scaling up their beverage manufacturing operations and launching their Trace e-commerce brand's website. So they say here, we view the growing market interest as a validation of our white label business model. At this time, our funnel of prospective clients is abundant, and we are in active conversations with groups from the initial scoping stage all the way to the final contract negotiations. They also say that they're in the process of evaluating a number of prospective white label clients. Really exciting because there's potential catalysts down the line, and they're expanding very quickly. They realize that they have to increase manufacturing because of all these new agreements that are signed. Because of this, you really have to have high quality executives, right? You have to sign new agreements. You have to be able to scale production. There's a lot of need for these executives. And recently, they appointed a former PepsiCo executive as their president. And even more recently than that, they announced the addition of 2 other executives from really high profile companies in Colgate and Unilever. So this is very exciting. So I want to leave you on an interview from their CEO that's talking about the future of this industry. I think it's really interesting here.
If we had the opportunity and we were as developed of a global world that we are today, and we would have had the opportunity to be first, not even on first base in the alcohol sector, many of us would have said, wow, that would have been great if we would have been able to be there at the beginning of that cycle. Well, here we are in the beginning. Canada, the first G7 country in the world to be federally legal, and many states in the United States that are approved for recreation or for medicinal. We don't have federal yet. And the rest of the world, Mexico just became compliant. They're opening up their doors, and there's lots and lots of jurisdictions that are going to open up. Where else would you like to be, Stuart? This is the future.
So you can see the passion from the executive team there. They're really talking about this being the future. Now, of course, you have to take a look at this company for yourself. The ticker for the OTC is BVNNF. I've talked about one other time. I'll put that video up on the end screen if you want to get a little bit more news on the company over the last couple months. I didn't cover everything from the last video, but I wanted to cover a little bit so that you had a background on the company. So tickers here. There's also the Canadian ticker in the description of the video. Thank you guys for watching and hitting the like button, checking out those links down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.